Hi, I'm Daniel, and in this part of the Creators 101 for Too Sexy and DNN, we're going to check out how to add images to our bucket list app, how to automatically resize and crop them to what we need. So let's get started. Just in case you need any other material, previous or later videos, links to other tutorials, etc., you'll find them on this short link. Now, this is where we left off last time. We have a very trivial app. We have added one piece of content, and we have added some layout so we know where the picture goes. Now, in the next step, let's add a field to add pictures. Let's go back to the app administration and to the schema of this content type idea. You remember we added two fields previously, and we're now going to add a new field, and we're just going to call this image. Now this of course is not a string, but this is going to be a link or file reference, and it's just a default. So that's pretty simple. Let's just close this now. And we just said this content type has one more field. Let's see how that looks. So here we see we have this image field, and we haven't configured it, so there's not like additional buttons. You can do that later on. But for a simple example now, let me just drag in the icon picture we just had previously and save this. So now the data has another icon file in it, a picture, and we want to now show it in this placeholder. You remember how to get to the code here, so let's just add an image tag here. And I've just prepared this in my clipboard, and this is basically what it's going to do. As a source, we're going to get it from the item we have. Remember, the item is always content, at least in this very basic setup. And image is the picture. Let's also add a description just because that's good practice. And we'll just use the name, same thing here for this. Let me save this and let's have a quick peek at what happens. Ta-da, the picture's here. Now, you'll notice it's probably not quite yet what we want because the current setup that we have, it seems to work, but we're going to run into some issues. One of the problems is going to be the picture size just doesn't match what we need. For example, let's assume we always wanted to have a ratio of 3:4. Now, we could do this through CSS, but in truth, what we actually want to do is we want to open this image in a new tab, and we want to, here it is, we want the image to be calculated in a smaller size so that the server doesn't send us a big picture. I mean, in this case, it wouldn't matter, but let's just go here and now tell the server that we want it smaller. By adding that parameter, the server is actually going to resize the image on the server to the new size, and it's going to deliver it to us in small. So let's have a quick peek what happens. So let me go here again, and initially it's not going to look much different. To be more explicit what's happening, let me add a height which is like 405. That would be a ratio of 4:3. And let's refresh this again, and you'll see now things are starting to happen. Let us close this one again, and let's say that the mode is crop, which means the server will now deliver another picture which is suddenly cropped to our ratio. Remember, previously it was showing more blue, now it's cropped. And this is a really amazing resizer. It's called imageresizer.net. That's included in Too Sexy. In the link, which I mentioned previously, in that short link, you will find a lot of other parameters to do this. But this is a very simple setup. What we could also do, let me just remove this background here that we had on this class because it doesn't make much sense. Let me see, did I save that? Working on that. Probably just because it was refreshing right now. Now it worked. Okay, as you can see, there we go. I could even do some weird stuff, but the important thing about these parameters are as follows. Let's say I took a completely different picture. I'm going to quickly go to take a very vertical picture, something that would cause trouble in real life. Let's have something prepared here. I'm just going to copy it to the clipboard, and instead of dragging it in, let me just delete this and paste it. And you'll notice that as soon as it's done pasting, so As you can see, the picture is now a tall picture. And tall means that we're going to run into some issues here if we don't like crop it properly. So let's save this and see what happens. And as you can see, it somehow seems to work. The width is okay, but in terms of height, we're not talking about 4:3 here. So something is still off. And the truth is, we have a mode crop, but we're still missing something, and that is scale equals both. And in a second, we will see that this should fit. There we go. Now it's cropped into the exact shape that we want. This is how it should be. And the image resizer that we're using here is super powerful. So you really should check it out. In the link you'll see right now we have all these parameters listed. There are like 50-60 parameters. And in 2Sexy 11.03 you even have WebP support, which compresses images way better than PNG and JPEG. So it's like one of those futuristic picture formats. So this is going to be really awesome. So it's a super powerful image resizer. Do check it out. And in the next video, we're going to start looking at multi-language content. Stay tuned. Daniel Metler for the DNN and 2Sexy community.